Today I will be discussing a Japanese contemporary artist known as Takashi Murakami and his artwork through the lens of pop culture and consumerism. This lens allowed us to discuss and take into consideration how media, branding, and mass production impact what people value, buy, and utilize to construct their identity and values in today's society. I picked this lens because I am interested in pop culture and lenses related to fashion, trends, and social media. Everyone is bombarded with new products and aesthetics daily in 2026, and people often feel pressure to keep up with what's popular. I find it interesting how quickly trends catch on and how brands can make you think something is valuable or cool. Murakami heavily relates to my interest because his art portrays this relationship between art and materialism. His work can be seen as high-end art, but it can also be seen as low-end goods, which is how I feel about consumerism daily. Murakami clearly relates to the perspective of consumerism through his fusion of fine art with commercialism and production. The most notable example of this would be his partnership with Louis Vuitton to design items that became high-fashion handbags and accessories. This collaboration opened dialogue on how art can become commodified within global consumerism and how value can be dictated by branding and popularity rather than meaning. By doing this, Murakami was able to push the limitations of what we perceive art to be. One piece of Murakami's art that strongly embodies this lens is his famous smiling flower motif. These pieces are vibrant, repetitive, and very cartoonish. You can see them portrayed in his paintings, sculptures, as well as print and even merchandise. The repetition takes away from it being one-of-a-kind art and makes it seem more like a logo or something mass-produced that you would see on products in stores. This speaks to consumer culture and the way images are mass-produced and distributed. Art isn't about one painting or sculpture, it's about being seen everywhere. Consumerism is a social problem that arises in present-day 2026. Whether it be through social media platforms, influencers, or fast fashion industries, people are always being told about new trends that they should be following. Many times when people buy something, it is not because they need it, but because everyone else is buying it or it is seen all over social media. Murakami tackles this issue through his work by how people consume visual culture. The way his pieces can be copied and reproduced ties into how easy it is for an image to become popular and gain value. Through this method, Murakami's artwork reflects the zeitgeist of 2026 and captures the essence of how identity is formed today. Identity is now formed by what we buy, what logo we wear, what aesthetics we follow, and what memes we post on social media. Murakami created art that was brand-like. It could be recognized instantly, seen everywhere you look, and is purchased endlessly by consumers. Now a bit about the artist. Takashi Murakami was born in Japan in 1962. He began his education as an apprentice in the classical Japanese style of painting. His career progressed, his style shifted to blend together anime, pop art, and commercial art. Takashi Murakami is world famous, and his work has been shown at places such as MoMA and the Palace of Versailles. Murakami's large flower paintings are one work example. He started producing these pieces in the 2000s and continues to make them today. Most of his oversized canvases consist of acrylic on canvas with smooth textures and surfaces that are brightly colored. They are often densely packed with the patterns that repeat over and over again. The scale of the work can feel almost overwhelming, like an advertisement or something you would see on social media. This smooth and perfected surface gives the work commercial appeal as they mimic the look of consumer goods. Murakami's production practices further contribute to his relationship with consumerism. He runs a large studio with assistants to help him create his work. These assistants operate like a factory producing paintings, sculptures, digital designs, and merchandise at a massive scale. This process mirrors consumer culture's process of mass production, while also defying the traditional notion of artist as sole creator. Instead, Murakami's methods focus on collaboration, repetition, and circulation. The use of these materials and production methods are intentional as he uses them to highlight how art functions as part of a worldwide market. By producing works that can be duplicated and sold as different iterations, he relates art to mass consumerism. This furthers his attempt to break down the barriers of high art and popular culture. Murakami draws his inspiration from his feelings about post-war Japanese culture, being obsessed with consumerism and the mass media. He originated the idea of super flat to describe both the flat imagery used in his paintings as well as what he saw as a flattening of culture after World War II between high art and commercial products. Murakami aims to question society's ability to digest not just material goods, but also images as goods through his combination of art, entertainment, and consumption. In conclusion, Takashi Murakami's art uses ideas of pop culture and consumerism to affect art and life. His repetition of images, bright colors, and heavy usage of the assembly line production style captures life in the modern world. As our identity, value, and worth are constantly being constructed and manipulated through what we consume, Murakami displays this while also satirizing his work. His work forces people to evaluate how they view the images and consumer goods they see daily. Now for the discussion questions. Once art is turned into a commodity, how does that impact how we see its worth? Does art become more or less valuable? And if our preferences are shaped by the latest trends in branding, how independent are we in our decisions on what we like or not?